welcome to Coffee with the School Psychologist. My name is Katie Souther, and I am the school psychologist intern here at the elementary school. Today we are going to talk about ways that a school psychologist can help support your child and other ways that you as a parent can find how to support your child. Before we start, I'd like to do a welcome activity with all of you. For this video, we are going to do some meditation and some deep breathing. To prepare for the video, I would like all of you to sit with your back against your chair with both feet on the ground. Enjoy.
Inhalar. 1, 2, 3. Exhalar. 3, 2, 1. Con cada respiro, te sientes que te estás poniendo un poco más relajado y los brazos y las piernas se están poniendo un poco pesados. Poco a poco, tal vez sintiendo que tus músculos están relajados y suavizándose, y hasta la cara parece cada vez más relajada y suave. Y sintiendo que el estómago se llena con aire al relajarte con cada respiración completa. Inhalar. 1, 2, 3. Exhalar. 3, 2, 1. Déjate conseguir el sentido pacífico y feliz que llega con el relajamiento. Permite que los brazos se sientan pesados, suaves y tibios, y que las piernas se sientan pesadas y cómodas mientras notas el peso de todas las extremidades, un peso agradable y seguro. Podría ser un árbol con raíces en la tierra y ramas que alcanzan las estrellas, ramas donde tu amiga alada puede descansar. Inhalar. 1, 2, 3. Exhalar. 3, 2, 1. Permite que todas las preocupaciones que llevas dentro se salgan, vuelen y se distancien con las nubes. Trátate con cuidado y cariño. Cuídate a ti mismo y encuentra la relajación completa, profunda en cada respiro al sentir el ritmo cardíaco regular, rítmico. Inhalar. 1, 2, 3. Exhalar. 3, 2, 1. Cada vez que meditas, te va a resultar más cómodo y más fácil relajarte y llegar a esta actitud positiva. Y puedes llevar esta actitud contigo todo el tiempo, no solo en la meditación, pero siempre contigo cada día, por todo el mundo. Inhalar. 1, 2, 3. Exhalar. 3, 2, 1. Bueno, ahora estamos casi terminando, casi listos, pero primero tenemos que decir adiós a nuestra amiga alada. Recordemos que esta amiga puede estar con nosotros todo el tiempo. Está tan cerca como la imaginación, y eso significa que siempre está a tu lado, siempre lista para ayudarte a sentirte mejor.
Thank you for participating in the welcome activity. Today, I'm going to talk about the role of a school psychologist as well as other ways to help your own personal student. To start off, I'd like to go over what the role of a school psychologist is at this elementary site. For a school psychologist, our focus is on the needs of the child at school. Our main focus is to find ways to help support your child in the educational setting, so in class or on the recess yard. A lot of times we are looking at helping students with their social skills. Are they able to engage in conversations with their peers and adults? Do they know how to play appropriately? And things of that nature. We also look to help students with their self-management skills. This looks like activities and strategies that a student can do to regulate their emotions, say when they're upset or angry, or ways to self-manage their attention so they can focus in class. The last way that we can help students in the classroom is through self-control. So again, finding ways and strategies to help students regulate their own behavior depending on what the individual need of the student is. The role of the school psychologist is to find and determine how can we best support your child in the school setting. Now that we have a better understanding of the role of a school psychologist, we're going to look at some of the responsibilities that a school psychologist has on campus. The first responsibility is an assessment, and what that means is that school psychologists will conduct tests and do observations and interview parents and teachers to determine if a student is eligible for special education services. Through that assessment, school psychologists identify any needs that the student has in the school setting and see if the student qualifies based on the California Educational Code of eligibility criteria. This assessment is usually done when interventions in the school setting have not worked. And we'll go over how to kind of start those interventions in a little bit. The second responsibility that a school psychologist has is counseling. We work with students in special ed who need counseling services to kind of help meet their needs in the educational setting. Like I mentioned previously, we can do counseling for students for social skills, self-regulation, coping skills, and things of that nature. We also can do counseling services for students who are not in special education services. And we can talk about how we can get those services starting for your child. Lastly, for counseling, we have an outside resource at our school that provides counseling services to our students. That is Children's Institute. Children's Institute is a great place that works both at the school and can also go into the home. And what they do is they provide therapy for students for different things that may be happening and affecting them in the home setting. Beyond assessment and counseling, we also do something that's called consultation. Consultation is a process where we work collaboratively with both teachers and parents in order to come up with strategies to help the student. So a lot of times consultations will look like a teacher coming to a school psychologist saying, I'm having difficulties either with this student's behavior or the student isn't progressing as much as I would like. What are some strategies that you can suggest to help me? A parent can also meet with a school psychologist to talk about other ways to help their child in the home setting. To do that, you can make an appointment with me, the school psychologist, at the main office. Another responsibility that a school psychologist has is working in what we call the Student Success and Progress Team. An SSPT works with parents, teachers, and other representatives at the school site, such as the school psychologist, to bring supports and interventions to students that may not be doing as well as they could in the general education setting. We will go over more in depth how we bring these how to start the SSPT process in just a little bit. But know that the school psychologist works hard with the team to figure out and design those supports and how to track the progress that students make. Lastly is through parent workshops. As I am here today, I'm letting you know about what a school psychologist does. And at the end of the session, I'd love to hear more about other types of parent workshops that you would like to have this year. One of the biggest questions that I am asked is, what do I do if I feel like my child needs help at school? So luckily today, I'm going to give you a list of 4 different things in the process that you can go through in order to get help for your student at school. The first and foremost, it's always important to talk with your teacher. If you have a concern about your child maybe not making as much progress as you would have expected, it's important to talk with the teacher to see what they see in the setting as well. The teacher is also a great resource to help you with different ways that you can work with your child to support what the teacher is doing at school, as well as understand maybe if there's some behavioral pieces that are coming into play that might impact the child as well. The teacher is always the first stop in trying to figure out what your child needs in the school setting. If you've talked with your teacher and still both you and the teacher do not notice a change, you can fill out a referral for the SSPT meeting that I just talked about. Remember, the SSPT meeting works to build interventions for students in the school setting and to track progress to see if they are effective or not. For that referral, you can make it with the assistant principal in the main office, or the teacher can fill out a referral for the student as well. I am also available to help you fill out that referral so we can get the process started. After the referral is filled out, the assistant principal meets with the teacher as well as calls the parent to set up a time to meet and discuss the needs of the student in the school setting. Please remember that if you fill out a referral for the SSPT meeting, it is important that you make sure to connect with the assistant principal to set up that meeting to discuss your concerns. After the meeting is set, the most important thing to do is attend the meeting. At the meeting, what we'll do is discuss how the student is currently performing in the classroom, what are our top needs, determine 3 goals, or maybe 1 or 2 or 3 goals, whatever the need of the student is, that we are going to target in 6 weeks, and then we are going to determine which person is in charge of working on those goals and how we can make those goals happen. With that plan, we all leave the meeting knowing kind of where and whose job it's responsible to conduct those interventions. Then the hardest part is waiting to see if progress is made. We like to wait around 6 to 8 weeks before coming back in order to give the child an opportunity to make progress. The hardest thing is that progress takes time, and sometimes we don't want to wait because we know time is so precious. But it's important for us to try the interventions for a good 6 to 8 weeks to see if they're working and what adjustments we need to make. After that 6 to 8 week time period, the assistant principal will once again call you to attend what we call a follow-up SSPT meeting. The follow-up meeting will have us discussing how the student has made progress, if the interventions we feel were successful, if the interventions need to be tried again, or is there another way that we can support the child on campus? Again, as a parent, your voice is very important in this because we want to make sure that we're supporting the child both at school and the home setting. Now, if we feel that the intervention hasn't given the child as much progress as we would have wanted, we will do what is called a referral for special education assessment. And what that referral looks like is you will get something that's called an assessment plan. The assessment plan is a paper that lets you know, and with your consent, allows for the school psychologist and other representatives to test your child to see if they meet eligibility criteria for receiving additional special ed services in the school setting. This was just a brief introduction of how to support your child in the school setting. I hope it was informative for you to understand some of the processes at school in order to help your child and ways that you can be involved in those processes. I am here at the elementary site every Tuesday and Wednesday. If you ever have any questions or need to contact me to talk about your child, Tuesdays and Wednesdays would be a good way to do that. To help set up appointments with me, you can either email me at k.souther@lausd.net, or you can leave a message at the front office so I can call you back. Since I'm not here every day and I don't have my own message answering machine, the easiest way to call and get a hold of me is through the main office. It was a pleasure to have you here today as we learn more about the school psychologist's role and the processes that you can get involved in to help your student. If you ever have any questions, I'm here to help you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.